Guys, this is Astranox, and in this video I'm gonna go more in depth about Pavel. So here's the data mine from YufineThrowaway on Reddit. The link will be in the description, so if you want to say thanks. And here's the artifact that's coming with Pavel. So in this video I'm gonna be talking about his stats. I'll talk about his skill multipliers and you know, the scaling with the speed multiplier basically, and how he fares like versus an assassin Coley, let's say, like why he's stronger maybe in some aspect, and well, and why he would like not be so strong in other. So yeah, here we go. Here, let's start it off. That's the artifact here with Pavel on it. The artifact is Dux Noctis. I already did a video about this, but this is gonna be more in depth about numbers. So yeah, this is a good artifact for rangers because it works with attack buff, because this is like a passive effect, and 24% attack when that's max, when that's fully stacked up, it is solid. It's definitely a nice amount of attack to have. So Pavel, 5-star ranger, Earth, Virgo zodiac sign. He has the same stats as Luluca. So you know, 1283 attack, speed is at 124, critical hit chance 15%, crit damage 150%, HP at 4976, and defense at 536. So devotion skill, you can squeeze a bit more damage out of that with the self-memory imprint. Starts at 6%, or the team-wide attack boost of 3.6%. That's the value it started at, but it doesn't affect Pavel. It doesn't affect the own hero. So Hurricane Sword, yes, you have decreased hit chance for 1 turn, 75% chance after skill ups. It's kind of weird to have it, you know, an offensive hero. It's, yeah, I mean, it's a survival debuff, most likely going to be used for PvE, not really in PvP. It can happen, you know, on longer battles, let's say. Not something you're gonna have to not something you're gonna rely on. He does scale proportional to the well, the caster's speed, his own speed, so it does increase his damage even further on skill 1, 2, and 3. What is good about this hero is that he has a self attack buff on skill 2. It's an AoE, so AoE is good in PvE. In PvP, a lot of situations where AoE will be troublesome. Many ways for you to die, you know, Elbrus Ritual Sword, counter set, enemy team, maybe there's 2 heroes, maybe more, that trigger a counter in Elbrus, and they just attack you just with their skill 1, nothing insane, and they end up just killing you from that before you actually do use your skill 3. So yeah, the skill 2 is the one that attack buff first for 2 turns and then deals AoE damage, area damage, and scales off of his max, his speed. You are granted an extra turn when you soul burn for 20 souls, so you do need Tagaheel's Ancient Book on a mage to make use of that, unless you're gonna be building your souls. Well, that's gonna be more in PvE. In PvP, it's about you know, the first turn in a lot of cases. So cooldown at 4 turns goes down to 3, and then since you are granted an extra turn with the soul burn, it's basically a 2-turn cooldown, which is very good. So skill 3, it ignores damage sharing effect. This is a single target attack that ignores sharing damage sharing effect. So Seaside Bellona Aureus, the 3-star light golem Ethan, with the, you know, damage being redirected onto him from the team. Troublemaker Crozet, ML Crozet, he's got that 50% from the backliner that redirects onto him. And the Aureus goes up to 20% damage redirection on the carrier. And Seaside is a 30% damage redirection to the frontliner. So you can bypass this stuff to help you kill the hero. So that's good. That is good. But the problem comes from the fact that skill 2 is an AoE. Yes, it will deal... It means like you're gonna deal more damage in PvE because you are attacking everyone. So that's good there, but for PvP, like I said, Elbrus counter ML can, or just heroes with counter set, or Elbrus Ritual Sword, they will definitely mess you up. And his survival stat, a bit less than 5,000 HP, a bit more than 500 defense. It's not gonna be enough. You're gonna be building him with a lot of offense. You know, you might want to go first in Guild Wars, initialize and take out someone. So high speed, high crit chance, well, 100% crit chance, high crit damage, high attack percentage. All this stuff is not gonna have too much room for survival stats. You're gonna be running him on speed set and on immunity set, because debuffs will definitely mess you up. So immunity set will be of great usage there. And yeah, it's good that he does get the attack buff from skill 2, because the multipliers, they are on the lower side. So skill 1 has a multiplier of 185%. He gets 20% from skill ups. And skill 2 is 150% damage multiplier. It's an AoE, so it's lower, of course. 30% more damage from skill ups. And skill 3 is 243% damage, with 30% damage increase from skill ups. Speed multipliers now, because he does have more. He does deal more damage based on speed. So here they are at the bottom. Here we can see skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. That's their multipliers. 0.075% chance, 0.1125% for skill 2, and skill 3 is 0.15%. Now, how much more damage will you deal with these speed multipliers? Well, on skill 1, I did 3 different calculations: 200 speed, 230 speed, and 250 speed. So 200 speed is very easy to obtain. You have a base of 124 speed. That means speed set will give you an additional 31 speed, and you're gonna be rocking some 40 speed boots. So basically, like basic stuff. Basic stuff, you are at 195 speed already, just shy of 5 speed from the 200 that I'm calculating. So very easy. That's your entry setup basically. Then mid game, more like 230 speed. Maybe even in late game, maybe you want a higher crit damage, higher attack percentage, higher of the other stats basically. But yeah, 250 speed is gonna be more like if you're going to be sacrificing some offense for just like more speed to go first, or if you are in late game and you can have like a high amount of all these things. So on skill 1 with 200 speed, it's 15% more damage that you're going to deal because of speed. On skill 2, it's 22.5% more damage, and skill 3 is 30% more damage. This is all with 200 speed. Very easy to obtain. Like I said, speed set and 40 speed boots will get you to 195 already. You're just missing 5 to reach that. So 230 speed, skill 1 is 17.25% more damage, skill 2 is 25.875% more damage, and skill 3 is 34.5% more damage. It's starting to be pretty solid, you know. With 250 speed on skill 1, it's 18.75% more damage. Skill 2 is 28.125% more damage, and skill 3 is 37.5% more damage. This is with 250 speed. It's of course much harder to obtain with high offensive stats. So it's like I said in the first video, yes, his multipliers are lower than a lot of heroes, but he's rocking 1283 attack. That's very high. That's like top tier attack. And he has the self attack buff for 2 turns, meaning that he can go first if you do have Tegihil's Ancient Book on the team for 20 souls, or you're rocking 2 different ones if you don't have one maxed out. Then your soul burning skill 2 gets the attack buff, deals the cleave damage, and then you deal damage with skill 3. Now, how much damage will that deal together? Well, it is very close to 400% damage together. I mean, you're just missing 7%. 400% damage. If we compare this to Assassin Coley, her skill 3 when you do soul burn, actually her soul burn doubles her damage. It goes from a multiplier of 224% to 449% when you soul burn Assassin Coley's skill 3. So her skill 3 damage with the soul burn is higher, is higher, like a bit more than 10% higher than Pavel's. The thing is, she's getting 50% more damage from skill ups versus Pavel at 30%. The thing is, she is doing a single attack, a single target attack. She's not relying on some cleaving first to get the attack buff and deal the damage, and then soul burn into the skill 3. So there is that. I would say that Assassin Coley, of course, if you are fortunate enough to have her, then like I wouldn't go for Pavel if I did have her, you know. 4-star Moonlight Hero, definitely harder to obtain, but she's not 5-star, so at least that's that. Now her speed multiplier on Assassin Coley is 0.1125% on her skill 3. Pavel is at 0.15%, so he wins there. He has higher speed multiplier over Assassin Coley, but Assassin Coley is already with a higher multiplier to start off, and she has 20% more damage from skill ups. So yes, she is losing on the speed multiplier a bit, and also she has a lower base attack of 1027 versus Pavel at 1285. I mean, we're talking 200, almost 250 attack there. That's quite a bit. Her speed is 2 higher than Pavel's at 126. So yeah, easier to initialize, I guess, with her. The thing is, she's getting her attack buff with the passive. If she goes first, she doesn't have any debuff. She gets the attack buff, and then boom, soul burn, skill 3, you delete someone, and that's the end of it. Of course, Pavel does have the damage sharing, the bypass of the damage sharing effect, so that's good. That's good, but the prime is definitely the fact that he's doing an AoE attack, and that AoE attack will get him killed in a lot of situations, and he definitely needs that immunity set or he will have some big problems. So yeah, now Sid, he's rocking same base attack as Assassin Coley, almost 1029, 2 attack higher than her, and his speed is the same as hers at 126. His multiplier without soul burn is 300% on skill 3, and it goes up to 411% with soul burning, and it only requires 10 souls. The damage increase from skill ups is the same as Pavel at 30%, and he scales off of speed. His speed multiplier is 0.21%, so with assuming 230 speed, it comes out to 48.3% damage increase for Sid's skill 3. With that's a lot of damage increase from his speed, so he beats everyone there. He definitely beats everyone there, and the fact that it's only 10 souls, which is much easier to get. Of course, just Tagiho's Ancient Book, no enhancement will give you 10 already, so that's very good. The prime is Sid is not getting attack buff. Sid doesn't have speed buff if he goes first, so he doesn't have that increase. Now, for the if you do have speed buff, right? If you do have speed buff on Pavel, you can take all those numbers I talked about and increase them by 30%. So those speed multipliers, you get 30% more value there if you have a pre-buffer with speed, so you can squeeze a bit more damage out of him that way. But I feel like he's definitely going to be shining more in you know, in situations where you don't have an attack buffer and he's taking care of that by himself. Now, in terms of PvE and PvP usage, I would say that the thing is, decreased hit chance doesn't work in the hunts against the boss, by the way. If you do apply the debuff, it sticks there, but they cannot miss you, and missing, it's a 50% chance of missing, and they will deal 70% normal damage, cannot land a critical hit, cannot land any debuff. So decreased hit chance is very powerful. But of course, you do need effectiveness, and if you want to rely on that, you need to build like 55% effectiveness for him. That's the amount you need in PvE to counter 70% effect resistance. There's always 15% that you can't counter. So in PvE, you can definitely use him like in Banshee. You know, if you don't have a Charles, if you feel like he's gonna be that damage dealer that will fill that spot, that role that you're missing, just pure damage basically, then you can definitely use him for Banshee. Now in Raid, Normal, and Hell, he can definitely shine there. I feel like he's definitely going to be solid. That constant high damage that he can bring, the fact that he has an AoE on skill 2. If you are manualing, let's say in Hell, you got that Soul Burn allowing you to have basically a 2-turn cooldown on skill 2. That's very cool. The decreased hit chance, you could have some effectiveness and sort of like rely on that a bit to increase the survival of your team. You can use him in Automated Tower. It's kind of a joke now, normal, but if they release a harder difficulty or higher floors, then he can definitely be used there, especially if you have a high investment into him, like, you know, he's like fully skilled up, something like that. Then yeah, you definitely want to bring him in more areas of the game if you're gonna go that route. So for farming, there's better options, but you can always use him, I guess. Decreased hit chance is for 1 turn, but it's 75% chance. That's pretty high. It's the basic basically for a skill 1. So I would say that with constant speed buff, if you are giving him speed buff throughout, like let's say a raid, if you are applying defense down debuff, and since he has an AoE on skill 2 and he's got that self-attack buff, I feel like he can definitely deal a high amount of constant damage toward the enemy. So he's gonna end up topping charts at the end of your raid runs. So that's good. That's good there. But he definitely needs to increase your team's morale by a lot, because you can just bring like a Lorena that has great synergy with so many heroes in your raid, and she's gonna deal some crazy damage, and you can just use you know, Stigma to skill her up with some catalysts, and you're good to go basically. But of course you need to do her specialty change, but still she will definitely deal a ton of damage, and she's got that attack buff that builds up over time. So if he doesn't increase your team's morale, if he doesn't synergize well, then that's gonna be a pass if you wanted to rely on him for raid. Now he's Earth, so you can't use him for you know, Executioner Karkanis is fire, so you can't really use him there. He's gonna get destroyed, so think about that as well. Now for PvE, I guess, yeah, as Maniac Hunt, you would need someone to dispel if you want to bring him. That skill 2, the cooldown might be too long, and that's the only AoE, so it might not be good enough on auto, you know, to take out the ads. And the multiplier is kind of low, so there is that. In PvP, I feel like, you know, the fact that he has a self-attack buff for 2 turns, that's huge. He goes first, and he just deletes Seaside Bellona. Any like big threat, big damage threats, you can take them out with him pretty easily, unless they have some pesky like Elbrus Ritual Sword Carrier with or on counter set even, or just a hero on counter set. Yeah, of course, Guild War is 3v3, so less chance of Elbrus Ritual Sword to trigger, but there's always that chance, and you're gonna definitely need immunity set, or he's gonna get messed up with some annoying debuffs in a lot of scenarios. But Guild War offense, you can definitely use him. He's gonna be great. You can take great advantage of the fact that he is Earth, so if you're fighting mostly Ice heroes, then he will not be targeted unless they are doing AoE damage, and if they are doing it, there's a 50% chance of them you know, missing their attack, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And yeah, easily kills Seaside Bellona, especially with the bypass damage sharing on skill 3. She's definitely dying. She's definitely dying. That is assuming you're not dying first from counter though, but yeah. Easily gives combat readiness to Challenger Domino. So that's a good combo. Him with her, the fact that she can carry Tagheel's Ancient Book is going to be great. It's going to allow her to just cycle through her skills faster with, you know, the fact that he cleaves and lands a bunch of critical hits on the enemy team, so that's good. I would say that he's not really a main cleaver, but you can guarantee a kill out of him, assuming no counter attacks to mess him up. Yeah, the skill 2 cooldown, I rolled that, is of 2 turns. If you do soul burn to get the extra turn, it goes from 3 to 2 basically. That's the thing, you could use him, his skill 2 could be that AoE against stealthed heroes to take him out of it. So you initialize with him, let's say, you know, Assassin Coles is there, you initialize with him and you take her out of stealth, and then you just straight up kill her with skill 3. Maybe you know, you're fighting Kisei, she outsped, he's not built so fast, maybe he take her out of stealth with skill 2 and deletes her. Maybe you wanted to kill Seaside Bellona first, and then you're working on killing Kisei later. So yeah, because you're gonna go first, you take out Seaside, something like that, and then you kill Kisei, and he's not gonna be targeted because he's probably gonna just end up going before she goes with her AoE. But even if she does her AoE, he's Earth, so good protection there. Also, heroes that trigger Wind Rider, you can take him out of stealth with him with skill 2 and take him out, something like that. So yeah, counter Seaside Bellona, you know, you want to deal full damage against heroes that are protected by Aureus, the 3-star light Golem Ethan, or Troublemaker Crozet, ML Crozet. He can help you with that. But the cons is definitely the Elbrus Ritual Sword triggers, counter set. Martial Artist Ken will straight up just delete him with if he's built with high offense. You're not gonna be able to survive his damage. Since you're gonna be building him with high offense, he's not gonna have any room left for survival. But yeah, there's ways sorta to like have him survive. You could have you know, skill nullifier like Fallen Cecilia go first. You could have the barrier from Fallen Cecilia to allow him to survive. You could have the artifact called Bastion of Perlucia. This knight artifact at the start of a battle grants a barrier equivalent to 30% of the caster's max health to the ally with the highest attack for 2 turns. So basically, he needs to be built with the highest attack in your team, and you need a knight to carry this artifact with very high max HP. So that plus Aureus might allow you to survive. So these are ways for you to kind of like survive what's coming your way, like a martial artist can. But yeah, you definitely need immunity set on him. Speed plus immunity is definitely the way to go for PvP. Now PvE, you can just go speed whatever, basically speed crit. So yeah, and the thing is, yeah, the attack buff will be gone after the combo of skill 2 and to skill 3 because it's applied before dealing damage. So I feel like it should lose a turn after skill 2 is done, and then skill 3, and then the buff is gone for you. So you won't have it for using skill 1 later on. But you've done your job. You killed that that high threat damage dealer on the enemy team. So yeah. He definitely does require Tagihil's Ancient Book for getting 20 souls for the soul burn on skill 2. So yeah, I'm listing that as a con. 20 souls is not that easy to obtain. Of course, 10 souls would be like way easier because you don't need to have it maxed out or require 2 of them. And he's gonna be going first, so he definitely needs the full amount, the 20 souls there. Unless you're gonna have some other heroes that boost combat readiness and he's going later in the team, so you could build up a bit of souls for the souls that are missing for you to soul burn with him. And yeah, maybe actually you use him later in your comp and you have Crimson Armin and Elena, like, you know, you're getting a invincibility buff, you cannot take any damage, and then when you're gonna be using his skill 2, then they will counter whatever. And then you're not gonna take any damage unless you get dispelled by Charles first with the skill 1 and the skill 2 of Charles. if he triggers skill 1 and 2, skill 2, and then they have some other Elbrus or counter coming your way, then yeah, of course, but that's a long shot basically. But you could use this to your advantage and not go first with him, protect him first, and then go. But then it does require too much setup kind of deal, but it's definitely possible. You know, if you want to roll with him as your your damage dealer, like even in real-time arena, you're gonna be protecting him early on, and then you're gonna be dealing damage. Maybe you want to wait for the frenzy to build up, so like he is able to start like taking out heroes later. Maybe he's not built with so much offensive power. Just food for thought there. I feel like if the thing is, if you're gonna pull or not, is if you know you're gonna be investing into him, Molagoras and all that, and you're gonna be putting some really powerful gear onto him, maybe your best gear onto him, then you need to make sure that you're gonna be able to use him in multiple areas of the game. So, well, I mean, maybe he is gonna be that hero that takes care of Seaside Bellona, but there is Yufine too. Like, she's amazing. If you already have her built, if you already have Charles built, and they're taking care of Seaside Bellona, she's not causing too much havoc toward your team, then yeah, of course Pavel does lose quite a bit of value there. But if she's definitely an annoyance for you, and as well as other ice heroes, and you know he's gonna be filling that role in especially in Guild War offense, where you don't have that attack buffer, or you don't want to bring an attack buffer just to boost the damage high enough so he can take out someone, then you know you're more flexible. You can bring another damage dealer, a healer, him, a support, some sort of debuffer, whatever. So there's different ways to go about it, but definitely, like, if you feel like he's gonna be able to help you in multiple areas, then by all means go ahead and pull. But he's not limited, so you might end up getting him later on. But if that happens, or you already have him, there's always his Memory Imprint, Self-Devotion, starting at 6% attack increase, I believe. So you can squeeze a bit more damage out of him. So that's pretty good. And the artifact is actually, that's going to be with him, Dox Noctis, is looking quite powerful. More for the longer battles. So there is that. Let's say in raids, right? If you're not going to be using... what's the name again? If you're not going to be using the artifact Daydream Joker that deals damage based on the target's max health, then yeah, by all means, this artifact for Ranger is going to be doing good for you, unless you're going to carry a Bloodstone to help you with sustaining your team. But yeah, Dox Noctis looks to be a pretty solid artifact that will, you know, work in combination with the attack buff. So there's that. But you could always use Iron Fan if you want to take out like a Seaside Bellona. Iron Fan will end up dealing more damage, and you'll have the full effect straight off the bat. You don't need to you know, require some gimmick like building critical hits to stack this thing up. But for the longer battles, this can definitely be good, and it works against all elements. So keep that in mind. So if you're pulling for Pavel, maybe you get this artifact once or multiple times. So there's that, but it's gonna be in the powder shop, you know, the powder of knowledge shop. So if you really want it, you can always get it later on, or in Mystic rotation if it ends up being in the one that you're gonna be pulling for. Anyways, I feel like he's definitely a solid hero. He's Earth, so that's cool too. We've been getting a lot of Earth heroes though lately. The thing is, maybe you didn't have the bookmarks, but now you do have them for him, something like that. Then there's that. But I feel like he's definitely not a hero that shines the most in one area beside Guild Wars. I feel like Guild Wars is where he can definitely come of great usage. But in other areas like PvE, I don't know. In PvE, I feel like I said, Raid is where he's probably gonna shine the most if you don't have an attack buffer in your team. That is if he has good synergy in terms of camping morale with the rest of your team. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I did talk about these multipliers and the numbers, the breakdown and all that. But if you want to straight up like go first, kill someone straight off the bat, I just feel like if you do have Assassin Coley, by all means, you're set in that department. Don't have to rely on Pavel's AoE and then like maybe get disrupted, get him killed before he actually takes out the hero. And you know, if he fails to go the second time with skill 3, he already gave Seaside Bellona for focus too, so that's pretty unfortunate. So yeah. And Sid, 4-star hero, he can definitely be devastating. If you put the same gear that would be on Pavel on Sid, especially if you're going to be buffing Sid with attack buff before or speed buff, but he does have speed buff on his own kit though, but it does take time to get it going. Still, Sid is an amazing hero and you might have him already built. Yufine can definitely take out like so many ice threats. And Yufine, I mean, she deals a lot of damage. She has some utilities as well. And she can definitely delete Seaside Bellona, no problem. And she can double tap Arbiter Vildred as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. And I feel like, I mean, like, Yufine can probably just straight up kill Arbiter Vildred, even if Moonlight Dreamblade does trigger and you don't even land a critical hit. Let us know in the comment section if you have Yufine built and you deal with Arbiter Vildred with her. So yeah, there's that, and she has more like buff and utilities than Pavel, of course. And if you already have the hero build, then like why pull unless like he's husbando materials, of course, and you really want him. So yeah, keep all these things in mind, and good luck with your summons, guys. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon so I can be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. I got playlists of all sorts: Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips and how-tos, and Abyss 462 plus, as well as best starter guides for fast progression with tips for my early to mid-game players. Join my Discord server. I have over 900 members, so we're close to 1,000 members now, so come join the fun. If you have questions for Epic 7 or even other games, you want to share stuff about the game, come in there, have fun, guys. And that's really it for this one. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.